Hi everyone, welcome to I Am 33 Days. Today is day 6. I am bold. I come to you from my basement. I come to you from what we affectionately call the homeschool room. We homeschool, not just because of COVID-19, but this is how we normally roll for a family. And to act like we're smart, we put up fancy posters on the wall. And today I think it's appropriate connecting to kind of what Chris was reflecting on, talking about the stars, the creation, the universe, the solar system, our beautiful country. Have you ever caught yourself sometimes? Maybe I just had my first campfire of the season. And if you go camping, hopefully this summer at some point, you might pause, you may look up at the stars, and you might catch yourself at some point saying, this is too much. There's got to be life somewhere else. There's got to be a little ET running around somewhere in the universe. And we can kind of go down that rabbit hole. And it is good to stargaze and to ponder. But I think sometimes we get caught up with the Final Frontier, Star Trek, all this good stuff, and I love all that stuff. And the belief of maybe that there's more out there. Not so much out of curiosity, which I think is healthy, and I'm not saying we should get rid of that. But I think honestly, and for myself, sometimes I get caught up with that so much because I don't think I'm enough. I look at the stars, I look at the solar system, I look at the galaxies, I look at our great country, and it all seems a little too much. It seems extravagant, it seems over the top for little old me in Warman. I think that's the point. I think we're often sometimes believing too little of ourselves. And in turn, I think we believe too little of our God. Chris reflects kind of on the story of Moses. Right? This is our reflection today. It comes from Exodus chapter 14, verse 21. We all know this story. Then Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the waters were divided. Kind of the last great miracle that Moses performs, as they flee the Egyptians. Right? The final one that gets them across. It's pretty crazy. Try to put yourself into a place you're carrying your little wagon and your couple satchels because they're running out in the middle of the night, and they're freaking out because they get to the ocean and they see the Egyptians are coming. They're like, "Oh, we're done." And we see little Moses roll up. I think of the movie Prince of Egypt, which we try to watch during the Lenten season. I just love that movie, and I was really struck how they kind of depicted this. That you see Moses kind of approach, and there's kind of this quiet, humble confidence in him that is a bit, for me anyways, was a transformation of when he first kind of encounters God in the burning bush, where he's overwhelmed with fear and just has no idea who he is, right? He's like, "What is your name? Who are you? What should I call you?" And over all the works and the wonders that God performs through Moses to help free the Jewish people, right, the Israelites, I think he starts to believe more in himself by first believing in who's backing him, starting to believe in this God and what God wants for him and his people. And through that confidence, he begins to trust and to surrender and to perform great miracles. Now, I don't know if you're going to walk up to the North Saskatchewan River and part it. Probably not. But there is some obstacle, I think, in your life that God wants to remove. That God is willing to show up if you raise your staff and you place it down, whatever that looks like. But if you think of that miracle, Moses has to walk up to the shore. It looks ridiculous from a reasonable mindset, what he's attempting to do. Sometimes God is calling you into something that seems scary. It seems ridiculous, and it doesn't seem like he's going to deliver you. We're in a weird time right now. But we need to trust and surrender that God will show up, is showing up, even if we can't recognize him right now. And God will deliver us. So my challenge for you today, coming from this book, is let's be bold. Let's remember that we're sons and daughters of God, right? That we are the princes and the princesses, right? As the last reflection was about. That we have a Father who lavishly loves us. And what would that Father do for us? Well, we know. We just celebrated it at Easter. So let's reflect. What are the prayers maybe that we're holding back, that we're too afraid to pray? I know sometimes I think I put myself into comfortable positions because frankly, I'm afraid of like shining or success. It kind of freaks me out, right? I'm nervous. I can get paralyzed by my fear because I put too much on the result on myself, not on God's hand. Trust that God wants to show up in your life, wherever you are. So pray bold prayers today. And the next time you look at the stars, be curious, be amazed, be struck with that wonder and awe, be Keanu Reeves, right? But then don't move yourself so much to a place that was like, well, it's too much for me, so there must be something else. Say, there's too much. Which is exactly pointing to a God who loves you. A Father who wants to lavishly love you. Who's too extravagant for us to understand. Don't doubt it. Don't question it. Just let God wrap you in his love. And then pray those prayers. And let him answer in his time and in his way. And I'll see you in prayer.